Hello, hello. How you doing, Agatoki? Okay, today's Wordle. Wait, why isn't it dark mode? Whatever. I'm gonna open with trade. Like, the Yankees should have made more trades before the trade deadline. We got TR. Well, the first word I thought of is girth, and also, Roke is in here, so that's two reasons to think of this word, so I'm gonna go with girth. I. We got I. Hello, Lunatic. Thank you all for tuning in. Gino in the flesh, or well, in the pixels. Good to see you, Rogue. Why are you awake? What's going on with your sleep schedule? Yo, we're gonna fix our sleep together. I promise. Could be like... Am I onto something? STR? No, I don't think so. What other consonant cluster could I have in the beginning with a T? I don't think there's any. So if it is STR, and it can't really be like... Oh wait, it could be like, no, that doesn't work. Well, I guess it could be like strip, for example. Oh, okay, it was way easier than... Alright. Dude, alright, relax. Relax, Gino. I'm exhausted, okay? I only slept like 4 hours. That's... If I did this in the morning, I probably would have... It would have clicked a lot faster. It would have clicked way faster. Oh, you're on vacation, Roke. Let's go. I'm not intending to fix any sleep schedules just yet. Hell yeah. Meanwhile, Lunatic, your sleep schedule will not be fixed. It's almost 2 AM and you're proud of it. Well, may as well own it. Not sure if you should take that girth comment as a compliment or a compliment. 100% compliment. Which girth was I referring to? Wait, hold on. What other... Obviously, you're phallus. We've talked about how your nickname in high school was PhD, right? Or, no, it was phallus humongous. This is what you told me in confidence. and I've now revealed it to everybody. All right, let's get started.
Shadows on battlefields, sighting the ashes fall. This fight is so red. When will this fight stop? Time to change the faces of fate. You will call me a fade away. Those rays silence go on endless refrain. Machine begins to sweat as long on hunting down. Standing unafraid beneath the cradle sky. Footsteps lost in shifting sands. Cries make echoes, but no voices land. The field burns red. We take the next step into the fire, into the flames. We rise again. We take another stand. But if the path is torn, we carve our fate away. The sky is cracked, but we push on. The light shines, guiding us till the battle for life. So now we march till dawn.
Okay, hello friends, welcome to a Tuesday stream. Yes, it is a rare weekday stream. I have been really struggling with my sleep, but I'm trying so hard this week to be normal. I just want to be normal so badly. I just want to get home and not pass out. And dude, I heard some great advice recently, and it just really clicked for me, and that is associating your bed with going to sleep. So I'm like doing everything I can now to just not get like I get home and I sit down in my chair. And I don't want to get in bed for any reason unless I'm going to sleep. So that way, hopefully, the idea is that, you know, when you do get in bed and like kind of cozy up, your brain will just start getting into sleep mode. If you use, I don't use a comforter because it's hot as hell here in Florida, but if you had a comforter, I guess a similar move would be getting under your comforter, like into your actual bed sheets. Because, you know, you might sit on your bed for some reason, but you're just like on top of the comforter, and that doesn't really count as getting in bed, right? Maybe it does. Guess it depends on you. But yeah, since I don't use a comforter because it's too hot for that, I just have to avoid my bed at all costs. So, thank you everybody for tuning in. I appreciate having you all here. Hello Agatoki, Rogue, Lunatic. Hello Blankets. Thank you guys for being here. Happy Tuesday. I haven't streamed in 2 weeks and I've missed streaming so much. When I'm not streaming, it's so bad. Because in my ideal like weekday, I get home and I stream immediately. And that has been hard to do recently, but it's gonna get better soon. Like by the end of the month, I should be able to stream more consistently, just because this room will not be a bedroom anymore. It's gonna be like an office gym is the idea. And then I'm just moving this bed out of here. I'm so happy you're on vacation, Roke. That's so cool. Yeah, GG's. We had a good Wordle, a 3 solve. Just finished Scarlet without Beta Burst. Nice. Hell yeah. I probably won't be fighting Scarlet today. We still haven't... It's sad, I still haven't fought Scarlet since the DLC came out, so over a year ago. But I am going to be messing around with the Steam controller. However, I should probably show something real quick that I haven't even shown on stream yet. And that is my... this. So what is this? Also, that was that's a song from Nick K called Into the Fire. Okay, I don't need music anymore. All right, so this is... Wait, I have it upside down. These are my EVE Nendoroids. So these came in a couple weeks ago. I don't remember when they came in. I looked at them. I haven't even opened them yet. But I got one for myself and then one for a giveaway, which will be sometime this year. I don't know when. I haven't even figured out exactly what I'm doing. But yeah, here's the 2 Nendoroids. They arrived in great condition. I ordered them from... It doesn't say it on the box, but I ordered it from Good Smile. So it even comes with these little freebies. So this is the freebie you get. I believe in here is... It just says Nendoroid EVE bonus. But it's got to be some kind of attachable thing. Wait, let me see if I can tell through the packaging. I don't think it's another hand piece. Maybe it's probably just something that goes in her hand. But you also have these little doodads. They look like cake pops. but they're not. They're just hand attachments. So you get those. And these bonuses, I got a set of bonuses for each Nendoroid. So like I got these too. So that means whoever wins this Nendoroid will also get the bonus stuff. But anyway, I'm not going to do a full unboxing because my desk isn't set up for that. But I'll at least show the packaging. I really appreciate that it comes in this sleeve. It's going to be a pain in the ass to put this back on because I've already done this once. Just to inspect the boxes, make sure they're good, but check it out. Okay. Check it out. Nice. I mean, the boxes are perfect. So, this is the box. You got a little seal of authenticity, like when you buy a Major League Baseball hat. There's like a this sticker, but it's, you know, it's legit. And it just says 2932 EVE Shift Up Corporation in the bottom right corner. And then it says Nendoroid series, product number. Oh, that's the product number, 2932. And then Good Smile Company. Oh, I guess I don't know. I guess you can only get Nendoroids from Good Smile, maybe, or depending on the retailer, do they have their own badge here? I would imagine it's just Good Smile, I guess. So here's some of the expressions and poses you can do. Comes with a blood edge, obviously. This is the back. Wow, when I saw this, I thought of that one scene from RE9. If you know what I'm talking about, then yes, you get the reference. But look, isn't that kind of creepy? On the bottom and the top. So yeah, it's I'm happy that they arrived in great condition. I don't feel like opening this right now because today's stream is more about the Steam controller, but yeah, it's beautiful. Gina decided to make my day even better. Oh, I'm happy that you could be here. I aim to please. Where can you get one? I believe there's 2 different Good Smile websites, but I ordered from like the global one, I'm pretty sure. If you just Google Good Smile, EVE Nendoroid, I think you can still buy these, but I pre-ordered this like months ago. I think in like February or something like that. That's when I pre-ordered this. But yeah, it is taped up. So I will leave whenever, I don't know if, whenever I do my giveaway, I don't know if the winner would prefer me to open it to check everything, but like it seems like these are perfect. So I'd rather just leave it sealed so they can get that experience to open it themselves. But at some point I'll do a proper unboxing and, you know, check it out and like pose it and stuff with the different pieces that you get. But for now, I'm gonna be insane. I'm gonna put this back on. Let's see if it allows me to again, because this is my second time putting this paper back on. I did check both boxes because I'm crazy. And I put the paper back on for both of them. I'm gonna slip it back into the bubble wrap. There we go. That wasn't so bad, actually. I got it back on. Back into its shipping box, which is where it'll stay safe for the time being until I figure out what to do. Okay, so timestamp. So that's the EVE Nendoroid, just to give you guys a little bit of a sneak peek. So here is the Steam controller. Okay, let's talk about this thing. I'm basically going to be playing some Stellar Blade, probably some RE4, and maybe something else, but this is the Steam controller box. I have the Steam controller out already. It's right here. But when you get this, it's a pretty nice unboxing experience, pretty basic, but I mean, it's straightforward. You just rip off one piece of packaging tape here, and then it opens. If you've ever opened an Xbox Series X, it's the same kind of presentation, because this kind of box opens the same way as the Xbox Series X box, and the product greets you. The puck is right here, which I have it connected to my computer already, but there's just the puck, the controller, pretend, puck, controller, and then inside is the, up here behind this flap is the cable, which comes wrapped up in this piece here. Some instructions, which, I mean, the whole thing is kind of instructions. Basically, it just tells you to plug the puck in, and then once you plug the puck in and connect to the controller, you plug the puck in, Steam immediately is like, update the firmware, and then it's like, do you have any other products or whatever that you want to update at the same time? So then you plug it in with a cable. Basically, it comes with one USB cable. You plug the puck in, it updates that. Then it's like, okay, unplug that, plug it into the controller. It updates the firmware on the controller, and then you can plug it back into the puck, and then it's just connected. So this is connected directly to the wireless receiver. It's essentially I don't know if it's 2.4 gigahertz but it's some kind of wireless proprietary connection like that, I guess. This is what it looks like, by the way. Just a, normal cable. It's not braided or anything, but it's a nice cable, and then this is the puck. What's kind of awkward about this is that I don't really know what you're supposed to do with this, but it does magnetically latch onto the back of the Steam controller, so if you just have it on your desk, it'll pick it up, actually. Like, if it'll easily pick it up. Yeah, like the magnets are strong enough, it does that no problem. And then it's charging. On top of being a wireless connection, it also charges the controller. I have seen there are like 3D printed stands that you can like slot this into, and then the Steam controller sits on the stand, and then it's, charging, which is nice, I guess. But I don't like controller stands just because it's kind of just asking for your controller to get dusty. And I don't want my controllers to get dusty because I don't want them to drift. However, these sticks are TMR sticks, which are basically like fancy Hall effect sticks. So they're much more stick drift resistant. So I guess if you were going to put a controller on a stand, it'd be this one. I mean, it'd probably be fine. But still, I don't really like doing that. I like storing my controllers in a drawer. I always store my controllers in a drawer. So I wouldn't use that. But this thing kind of just currently, it's just sitting on top of my PC tower. And yeah, as far as battery life, it's supposed to be... I don't even know what the numbers are, but it's supposed to be really good. Probably not as good as an Xbox controller. Xbox Elite controller has like ridiculous like 40-hour battery life. But we'll see. I'm not going to charge it at all. I haven't charged it since I got this. All right. Okay, we are now connected. Let's open up Steam and get into some Steam input stuff. You cannot eat those. The little bonuses that come with the EVE Nendoroid, no, they're not edible. They do look kind of like candy, though. Oh, it also has Bluetooth. Yes, so you can do Bluetooth or the proprietary wireless connection, whatever you want. The reason you would use Bluetooth if like, maybe let's say you're playing on, I don't know, you just want to play it on any device that you don't have that easily accessible a USB port. You could connect this, like a Steam Deck, for example. You could connect this controller to your Steam Deck over Bluetooth, because unless you want to like plug in, maybe if you have it docked or something, and then you have extra USB ports, it'd be kind of a hassle to plug in the puck into the Steam Deck, but I guess you could do that too. But I'm going to go ahead and turn this on. Lights up right there. I should actually talk about how it feels in my hands, because I've only held it for, I just realized it's also, since we're on desktop, it's my mouse right now, which is kind of good if you're playing, like if you have a couch setup. What's nice about this is that if you have a living room PC, not having to like plug in a mouse and keyboard to just like open up Steam is really nice, because by default, this is in mouse and keyboard mode when it's on the desktop. But if you want, you can hold down the start button. So if I hold this down, in the bottom right, you'll see it should change. It should change. Maybe it's the other button. Hang on. Is it this one? Oh, or is it on this monitor? There's a hotkey. I know that if you hold down one of these buttons, it'll change between mouse and keyboard and like regular controller mode. But I don't remember what it is, because it's not really something that I have to worry about. But it is an option. Hold on, let me see if I can figure this out. Let me go to Steam settings, go to my controller, and then here is the Steam controller puck connected and the controller connected. What's advanced settings? Oh, this is like just general controller stuff. But here's the desktop layout. So if you wanted to edit your desktop layout for your Steam controller, this is like default. This is all default stuff. But there's a hotkey to change between, it's like an action set, and it changes between edit layout. It's one of these. Here we go, yes. Command 2, long press. Change action set to gamepad, which is what I was doing. So it is the 3 lines, which is like start. Okay. Why isn't it doing it though? Oh, it seems like it's working, because it's not working as a mouse anymore. And then if I do this again, now it's working as a mouse. Normally, when you change action sets on Steam, there's a little pop-up. I'm not sure why it's not popping up. But anyway, maybe it's because I'm streaming. It might have something to do with OBS. But you can switch between gamepad mode and mouse and keyboard mode by just holding down the start button. So it is that action set. That's by default. I didn't set that up. All right, we should probably jump into some Stellar Blade. So as a preface, I should state my favorite controller is the DualSense Edge. I love this is like the perfect shape and ergonomics and the feature set. I love this controller so much. So as far as comfort, the very first thing I thought when I picked up the Steam controller is like, wow, it's way lighter than I thought. That wallpaper is hilarious. Is it hilarious? It's I don't know. I mean, I would love if I don't know what I like if I burst into laughter just by being in traffic and like seeing cars, I'd probably have a really hard time getting to work. But it's one of my favorite cars, the E46 M3. Huge fan of it. I think it's extremely beautiful. What was I gonna say? To preface, yeah, I love the DualSense Edge controller. I think the shape of it is perfect. I love the feature set of it. Everything is amazing. And I love the back paddles because I use the half dome switches. Let me show that real quick. So the half dome switches on the DualSense Edge are these. I like using these. So it's not like your typical, like on an Xbox Elite controller. These are like more typical paddles. Okay, kind of all sorts of. There's probably other controllers that use these kind of paddles, but these are kind of more common, right? Or controllers will have it built into the back. But I like these half domes. These are just so comfortable for me. Now, on the, for example, like the Switch 2 Pro controller, those have built-in back buttons, as does the Steam controller. So you have 4 back buttons. And I was surprised when I picked this up for the first time because it's way lighter than I thought it would be. It's slightly heavier than the DualSense Edge, just a little bit heavier than DualSense Edge. So since I'm used to that, it's like not a big jump. But all of the weight is in the middle. So when you're holding it, it doesn't feel bad at all. It's very balanced, basically, is my point. It is super, super balanced. And just basically, I don't know, it feels like 50% of the weight is right here in the middle with all this technology with the trackpads and stuff. So you don't really feel it when you're holding it because the grips themselves are light. And then the positioning of the back buttons is, it's perfect. At least for me, my middle finger and ring finger sit exactly where the buttons are. So I love that. And I'm excited to jump in and like actually see what it feels like. I did play for about 5 minutes and then I realized, oh, I don't want to keep playing on this just because I want my kind of impressions to be genuine when I do get a chance to play. So I fought a bad in once and I was like, never mind, I'm done. I'm not going to test this anymore because I'd rather test it live on stream. So yeah, my seat time behind the Steam controller is minimal. It is as minimal as it gets. You know what I could do as well? I could also turn this on. Let's get my... It's not going to make sense. Does this work? Oh no, because it's not connected via a cable. I don't feel like plugging it in. Never mind. I was going to say I could use my controller layout, but that's okay. So when you boot up Stellar Blade, it tells you, hey, Steam input, are you sure you want to be using that? But I'm aware. Boss challenge. Oh, right. Okay, so this thing only operates through Steam input by default. Meaning, you have to be playing a game that you have on Steam, or you have to have... It could be like a non-Steam game that you added to Steam as a non-Steam game, and then Steam input will work as well, or it should work. I think most of the time it does work. But to set up your back buttons, you need to go in through Steam input. So here's what I've got so far. I've just put my normal stuff. I have my top left back button as B, which is dodge, and then my right top back button as left click stick, which is sprint. But I have 2 extra buttons here, which I'm not used to having. Like, you know, on my DualSense Edge, it only has 2 back buttons. So something to just try out. And then here, oh my gosh, and also this thing has grips that are buttons as well. So it's really interesting, actually. You can't see them, but there is like some kind of grip sense capacitive something here. So when you let go of the either grip, so it's 2 buttons basically, letting go is an action in itself. That's some kind of input. So you can map that easily right here with under the back button. So you've got the 4 back buttons and the grips. And I was thinking it'd be kind of interesting to just mess around with letting go to dodge. I just think that'd be fun. So I'm going to try that. Add command, and then I want B. And I don't know what to do about my other one. I guess I'll just put it on both. I'll see which one I prefer. If I like letting go like this or letting go like this. I think I'd rather let go like this, though. That just makes more sense because I want to be... I don't want to let go and then have trouble doing like, never mind. I already figured it out. Because if I want to do like a reflection or something, I would want my fingers to be ready on the buttons, right? So I'm going to take this off. Remove command. So I'm going to try dodging on my left grip because that just sounds like it'd be fun. And then on my bottom ones, I guess, I don't know, I'm so used to playing this game with only 2 back buttons, so I'm not going to actually add any. But what I could do is I could just do duplicates just to see if I ever accidentally press them, just to see how it feels. So I'll just have my sprint on both and my dodge on both and also on the grip. Okay, so now we back out of here. So now, oh yeah, just letting go. Just letting go of my controller does back. So let me go into here. Oh, wait, how does this exactly... Oh, it's when you touch it again? Wait, so it's not when you let go. Because when you let go, nothing's happening. It's when I touch it again. Oh, so I guess what you could do is like... You could kind of do one of these. Oh, that makes sense. I read about this, and apparently the grips are more for like ratcheting if you're using gyro aiming. So like, for example, if you wanted to recenter yourself, you would just let go, come back, and then that would center, right? Or like you could, no, you would like let go with one hand, fix where you want your controller to be, re-grab, and then it turns gyro back on. Yeah, I believe that's what it is. Yeah, that's the like use case that I heard Valve kind of present when I was watching these like Steam controller interviews and stuff, is that you would let go, fix your controller, and then touching it again enables gyro. Oh, hang on, damn, that's really sensitive. You can adjust the sensitivity too, by the way. Hold on. Damn, that is so sensitive. Whoa, look at this. Just going like this is the input. I don't know if I would use this for dodging. It sounded like fun in my head, but I thought it was letting go for some reason. But this is even better because now I don't have to like lose control of the controller. I don't really have to let go of it so much. Let's just jump in and start trying this out. This is so weird, but interesting. Very interesting. Your left stick is totally unusable. Cannot get those sticks in any local stores. Oh yeah, the DualSense Edge the stick modules, they are hard to get. They are hard to get. Wait, why am I sprinting? Why is EVE sprinting? Is it because... Oh, it must be because I'm holding down the grip. That's not gonna work then. Alright, let's fix this. I can't even walk, so I'm gonna... What? Oh, because I hold... I see, it's the... Yeah, so that doesn't work. I forgot. In Stellar Blade, I forgot this isn't even a feature, but you can hold down B to sprint. So it just thinks I'm constantly holding down the back, like B to sprint because of the grip. So I'm going to undo that. Never mind. This is not going to work. It was an interesting idea in my head, but I can't just be sprinting like that. So undo that. There we go. Now we're back to normal. We're just walking. But yeah, the back buttons, they feel good. They're a little bit clicky. They're not... They're probably rubber, like dome switches, if I were to guess. That's what they feel like. They feel like rubber domes. But it feels good, like, you know, there's a little bit of actuation there. They're not like too light. If they were too light, it might be annoying because you might press them by accident, but I don't feel that at all. So I'm just gonna try playing normally and see how this goes. I forgot how to play. Wait, I also haven't played in a long time. It's been like a couple of weeks. 1, 2. Hmm. 1, 2. By the way, the triggers, there's no adjustability on the triggers. So you can't make them shorter. It's, you know, it's not that long of a press. But it's definitely something to get used to. I like my DualSense Edge triggers on the medium setting, so they're, you know, they're a little bit shorter. Same thing on my Xbox controller. Let me try some aim canceling a little bit more. I mean, you could get used to it, for sure. But yeah, the back buttons feel really good. I like the back buttons. The face buttons are small. They're not... Then again, I'm coming from PlayStation, so like... But the face buttons are noticeably, like, I can feel they're smaller than like a regular... Like a DualSense. I'd have to compare them to Xbox. I guess maybe PlayStation just has big buttons. But if you were coming from like a Switch Pro controller, these buttons would feel tiny. Because like at least the Switch Pro controller has gigantic buttons. Yeah, I don't feel any sense that I might press the other back buttons by accident. It's very comfortable to hold. Like, there's enough controller to grab that it's very comfortable. I don't feel like... A couple things. I have thoughts. This is a good controller. I'm interested in what I could do with these grip senses, like the... I don't even know if that's what it's called, but I believe that they're called grip senses. But yeah, it's when you let go and then touch it again, that's the input. So interesting. You're using the other back buttons on the edge. They're just right for where your ring finger naturally relaxes. You're a bit of a weirdo, you guess, and your middle fingers are naturally gripping the bottom of the triggers. Oh, you play like that, Roke? That's crazy. That's so impressive to me because I can't do that. I go between like this with my index fingers. My hands aren't big enough to do that. But you're one of these guys? Dude, you must have loved... If you ever had an original Xbox, you probably would have loved that controller. The original Duke controller, that thing is a huge controller. And it would have probably been comfortable for you if you're used to holding it like, you know, like a controller like that. You know what I mean? So you press your L2 and R2 with your middle fingers. I've never met anybody who does that. Then again, I guess I'm not really paying attention that hard to how my friends hold their controllers. But I believe... Yeah, I've always done this. Also, okay, let me talk about the buttons a little bit more. Obviously, Stellar Blade is you press L1 a lot, or, oh, it is L1. I didn't even realize that. It's not... What a weird hodgepodge of, glyphs, because you've got, number one, Xbox, right? You've got ABXY, but then you've got L1, R1, and then L2, R2. That's so weird because it's not LB. They're not bumpers, but they feel like PlayStation kind of. Let me compare. Let me A/B this shit right now live. So honestly, the actuation feels similar. These are louder. You're not going to be able to hear. My mic is not set up for that. This is a dynamic mic. But if I had a condenser plugged in, I would let you guys hear all these sounds. But definitely they're quieter compared to DualSense. I mean, of course, an Xbox controller is going to be just the loudest by a lot. Yeah, these are way clickier. But it feels like the same kind of button type as DualSense. It's just a little bit quieter. The triggers... I don't really like how the triggers feel, to be honest. But, you know... Interestingly, you get a little bit of a feedback when you press it in all the way. Like, you can kind of feel like a little bounce. Oh, that's what I'm feeling. Oh, it's the thumb... It's... Okay, so it's actually the trackpads that are reacting. It's not the triggers themselves, but I'm feeling... Dude, the trackpads are so cool. If you've never, like, played on a Steam Deck, these are essentially those trackpads. I believe they are identical. I don't think there's any extra functionality. The only things that separate this from the Steam Deck's, like, input setup is you've got the grip buttons, and you've got these different back buttons. The Steam Deck also has 4 back buttons, but they're nowhere near as comfortable as these. These are so much nicer to use. So much nicer. I don't even like using the back buttons on my Steam Deck. But they just feel like they take too much to press in, and the lower ones feel like they're way out of the way. So I can grab my Steam Deck. Hold on, one sec. I just had it right there on my bed anyway. So let me show you what I'm talking about. If you are coming from a Steam Deck, maybe you'll know what I'm talking about, but like when I'm holding this, even though my fingers are here, like they're resting on them, it's way too much like force to press the bottom ones. The top ones I can use no problem if I need them for something. But most of the games that I'm playing on Steam Deck, I don't even need the back buttons. But like the top ones feel good. These are just, my ring fingers are not that strong where I can just like easily press these. So maybe if you have bigger hands, they're more comfortable, but you can't even really go down either. Like if you're holding it normally, you can't, that's not happening. You're not going down to press these. That's so inconvenient. But the top ones are very good. But even these, they feel much more, obviously they're not sitting as proud as the ones on the Steam controller, on top of feeling like they require more force. Maybe not even that they require more force, they don't feel as good to press. They don't feel anywhere near as good to press. But these, oh yeah, these feel good. They've got more click to them. They're much more satisfying to use. You can feel exactly when you press them. My L3 click is on the right. May need professional help. Yes, because I sprint so much. So like in any game where I sprint, I just like using it here. It just makes sense to me. I've been doing that for so long. Like that was one of the first things I did when I got my DualSense Edge originally, when I started my channel. Let's jump into Corruptor next. I'm gonna just fight all the bosses. Can you do button combos on the back buttons? Since it says add command, maybe you can do like triangle plus circle on one of them. Yes, so you can do all sorts of shit. Steam, that is a great question. So Steam input is really interesting because not only can you, let's you know what, let's test this right now. Let's say I wanted to do like Tempest on command. So I could remove this. Okay, I'm gonna add command. Let's go R1. And then you click on the cog again, and then you go add extra command. What is add subcommand? I'm not sure. But I'm gonna try it with add extra command, and I'll see if that works. And if that doesn't work, maybe we'll have to do add subcommand. But I'm gonna go add extra command. And what is Tempest? It is circle. Yes, it's circle. So there we go. So I've got executes 2 commands on my bottom right back button. Okay. I'm gonna see if this works. It seems to be working, but it presses them like at the exact same time. I think you can even work in delays, but let's just see if this works. I'm gonna build up some burst energy and I'm gonna try to do a Tempest with my back button. However, this is something you can just do with Steam input. You don't need a Steam controller to do this. 1 and 2, 3. Just so that you're fully aware, if you're just playing a game on Steam, you can do these things if you also have a controller with back buttons. You do not need a Steam controller to use Steam inputs. Alright, so we've got enough energy. I'm gonna go for a Tempest. That doesn't work. 1 and 2, 3. Yeah, because it presses them at the exact same time. So I would need to incorporate a little bit of a delay somehow. Kind of curious. How could I make this work? How could I do that? I'm sure there's a way. What if I'm gonna try this as a sub command then? Instead of, let me go back. This. So command 1, command 2. So instead of that, let's remove this, and then I'll go sub command. Oh, here we go. Sub command B. Okay, so now on my R5, which is the bottom right back button, right bumper, and then B. Okay. 1 and 2, 3. That still doesn't work. That's okay, we'll figure something out. What if, hold on, what if, remove that, delete subcommand, regular press, The thing is, like, it's a really easy input to do anyway, but like the point is I'm trying to figure out like how complicated can you make these like button inputs, right? I'm sure there's a way to do it. What if I go, oh, here we go, fire start delay, fire end delay. Oh, look at that. Look at that. You can also choose to make your inputs interruptible or not. By the way, the regular ass DualSense is also, it has tons of functionality through Steam Input because it has the trackpad. So if you wanted to, you could also use, not to the extent as these trackpads, but like you can have the one trackpad, and I think you can even split it in half. So you can use the left trackpad and right trackpad on the DualSense controller, like a regular DualSense. And so you could use both halves to do something. So yeah, regular DualSense is also very good for this. But for example, I guess what you'd have to do is right bumper, okay, and then add command. I don't really know. Someone might want to look up what the difference between extra command and sub command is, but I'm gonna go extra command. Oh, hello, Blue Vader too. Shout out to my real life friend Nima. He loves Dark Souls 2. If you're a Dark Souls 2 fan, talk to him. It's his favorite game of all time. Okay. So now I want B, and then I'm going to edit this and settings, and I guess fire start delay. Let's just delay it by 100 milliseconds. Let's start small. Actually, let's start big. Let's go with, that's maybe too much. Let's go 300 milliseconds. That, because, you know, I was thinking of Sparta recently, and, you know, I don't know. I guess I haven't watched the movie 300 in a while, so it's been on my mind. So that feels good. Oh, it doesn't feel good. Oh, I see what's happening. What I would need to... Okay, I would need... The issue is that R1 isn't being held down. It's not being held down, that's why. So if I can go settings, fire end delay. I need to add like a delay of maybe 100 milliseconds on the fire end for R1, and this shouldn't need any kind of delay at all. So I'll come back here, reset that to 0. Okay, well, am I a genius? I might have just figured this out. I think I need more delay. I need more delay. Let's go back to right bumper. Oh, this is so, I've never played with this like this. I have played with Steam Input when I was doing my Guitar Hero controller challenge run of this game, which if you haven't seen it, I have a playlist on my channel. But that was like the best use of the Steam Input that I've ever used. Was playing on a Guitar Hero Explorer guitar to play Stellar Blade. So I'm gonna try 250 milliseconds on the fire end delay. That's still not enough? Come on, that should be enough. That should be enough. Let's go more. 500. Let's just go 1,000. 1,000? Okay, hold on. Fire end. Makes it... I feel like that's it, holding it down. Yeah, and you can even tell. See how, like, it's holding it down? Oh, so then all I really need is a tiny delay. I just need a tiny delay on B. That's the issue. Settings. Fire start delay. Maybe, like, 100. That's probably the issue. Yeah, okay. Alright, wait, I am a genius. Watch this. Hey, Juan, thank you for tuning in. One and 2, 3. Alright, here we go. Tempest, right here, watch this. Yeah, that's awesome. So I needed a little bit of a fire delay on the R1, so I held R1 a tiny bit. I put it for 1,000 milliseconds, but you really don't even need that much. You just need enough for it to give a chance for your B button to press. So with one button Tempest. Now, that's not like, obviously in this game, it's, the control setup is so good, like the controller is so good, like the layout is amazing. It's easy to just hold down R1 and press it, but this is something you could use, you know, in other games, maybe with more complicated things, right? And potentially, I guess you could also do sub-command. You could do like the main command, sub-command, and the extra command, and potentially have 3 things going on with delays and shit and all this stuff. So, and you can also set it up to have, like, it's not necessarily, I'm pressing it, but I could set this to be a double press, a long press, a start press, a release press, or a button chord, which is something else that's too complicated for me right now. But for example, if I only want to use like my bottom right back buttons as double presses, I can, in case you're worried about accidentally using them, right? You could set them as double presses or maybe a long press, whatever. What's start press? I don't know what the difference between start press is and regular press. Oh, I guess you could have. Oh, I know what you could do. Dude, this is pretty. So you have start press and release press, which means on one button you could have two commands. I'm pretty sure I could use B as a subcommand, but you could have like pressing it as one command and then letting go as a different something. That's pretty cool. Now we're thinking with portals. What are you guys talking about? Let me see. I should go into Counter-Strike and gyro aim. I'm not going to do that. Also, don't tell me what to do. I think you need end delay. Yes. Thank you for problem solving. I'm so stubborn. I didn't even look at chat to like help me figure it out. That's pretty nice. Oh yeah, your index fingers never leave L1 plus R1, always shooting with middle finger. Been this way since you were a kid. You think it has advantages when your fingers never have to travel. I agree. It seems very efficient. And I don't think it's really that weird. It's just like you got to have the hands for it. Or I guess you've been conditioned over the years to make it feel comfortable. Now, if you were to tell me that you played with inverted aim, I would probably look at you a little bit weird because that's crazy. I guess unless you grew up playing like, flight games or something a lot, that's just crazy to me. I don't know in what world it's more comfortable to play like an FPS with inverted aim. But every time you boot up a Halo game, Master Chief is like, they ask you, hey, Master Chief, can you see? How's your camera working? Oh, it works good. And that's when you would choose if you wanted inverted. I don't know anybody who ever used inverted in Halo. So, to be frank, the only back buttons that can be remapped in Steam seem to be the ones on the DualSense Edge and the Steam controller. No, actually, Lunatic, if you use an Xbox controller, there's like a little setting in Steam where it's called like Xbox Extended Support or something. And it lets you map them through Steam input if all four back pedals. I've tested this. And what's interesting about the DualSense Edge is that if you do have an Edge controller, you can also through Steam input, you can map these as buttons, which they're normally not buttons. On like a PlayStation 5, for example, these two function buttons are only for like basic shit like changing your profiles, and maybe you can use like the hotkey, like you hold it down and then like raise your volume on your headset or whatever, like your chat game mix. So that's what these function buttons are for. But on Steam, you can just use them as buttons if you want. Depending on the game, it might be helpful for you, but I've never used them for that. But I mean, they're not in a bad spot. Honestly, you could legitimately use them if you needed more inputs. So, okay. You got a new controller yesterday and it was $50 at GameStop, but you saved enough points to get $25 off. Hell yeah, dude. Robbing them blind. That's what I'm talking about. Stick it to them. Does Reggie Fils-Aimé still work for GameStop? You just took $25 of Reggie Fils-Aimé's money. That's awesome. I like Reggie Fils-Aimé, by the way. Shout out to RF. Maybe you can do a whole counter chain with one button. Yeah, probably. We should... I'm going to keep playing because I just want to get some more impressions of the buttons. But yeah, theoretically, I guess you could do like the main command of the back button to set up the start of a chain, like a counter chain or a chain reflection. Then have the sub command. No, then you'd have the sub command, and then I'm sure you can make it work with the delays because you have to delay a little bit. But honestly, that's a cool idea. That's a cool idea. When I think of stuff like this, like I just feel like there's so much potential in third-person action games with like serious like I'm thinking of Devil May Cry basically. Like Devil May Cry and Bayonetta, you could probably do all sorts of cool stuff with all these crazy macros, and make it really easy to do big combos by just having inputs like on command. Of course, it's not really as fun as learning the hard execution yourself, but it is. Then you could do cool shit easily, right? For accessibility reasons, that could be nice. And I think that is definitely an underrated thing people might not be thinking of when they think of the Steam controller, is that like the accessibility you get from having all this shit and all this functionality from the trackpads. Maybe if you just need a little bit of help to like play more comfortably, Steam controller could do that for you. Bam, bam, bam. Anyway, as a regular controller, it feels fine. Having the D-pad on the left is a little bit weird, but it doesn't matter in this game, I don't think. It shouldn't really matter at all. But there's some maneuvers I'm thinking ahead to like when I play RE4. There's some maneuvers I wouldn't really feel great doing with the D-pad on the left. The thing is that since this is like, you know, a full-size controller, I would see myself playing anything on this, right? Compared to on a Steam Deck, for example, it doesn't bother me having the D-pad on the left because it makes the device more ergonomic, and like usually the kind of stuff where I would need to quickly like use a D-pad or something. Granted, you can still get over there fast. It's just, I guess the muscle memory is just not there. Like I'm used to go. I'll get into it. Once again, if you get into a shooter, you'll probably feel the difference of like having your D-pad in a weird spot. But personally, I absolutely love having the PlayStation analog stick setup. Why do I love this so much? Because I'd rather have the analog sticks in the wrong place than the D-pad in the wrong place. So if it's a third-person game or some kind of shooter or whatever, and I've got to play with my analog sticks here, I have no problem with that. If I have to play a platformer, like a 2D platformer with my D-pad down, not where my thumb should be resting naturally, it's nowhere near as comfortable, and I wouldn't even want to play the game on that controller. So you could play basically anything on this. Of course, if you only play shooters, probably you'd want like an Xbox style controller anyway, where like the analog stick is up here, because that's mostly what you're playing. But I don't think that FPS people are really buying this. This is like you have to have like a weird reason to use this. I got it because I just like my Steam Deck and I like the way that those controls feel. And I was like, I'm just interested in trying this. I've also never had a controller with TMR sticks, so I wanted to see what TMR feels like. There's no real aiming in Stellar Blade. There's like a little bit of aiming. But once we get into a shooter, I'll see if maybe I can tell any difference with, you know, the TMR sticks. Because TMR sticks, you know, they basically they communicate way more information than a regular analog stick. And so, in theory, you just have much more accurate aim because there's more positions where it'll pick up the inputs. So we'll see what that feels like. I haven't tried any kind of aiming with this yet. Besides, like, because in Stellar Blade, it's so aim-assisted, that's not really, like, comparable to... Once we get into, like, RE4, I'll be able to feel more aiming stuff. If you want a budget first-party controller because you're scared of third-party controllers, then that would be a reason you would get it for a shooter. That's true. If you just don't want a third-party controller, you want to feel like, oh, I'm getting a really quality controller, and you want TMR sticks, then yeah. Because it's crazy. Like, how does Sony, Nintendo, and Microsoft, they're like, nah, we're not even going to put Hall Effect. You get nothing. I just whiffed that completely. So, like, I don't know how much of this is me not having played Stellar Blade in a while. 1, 2, and 3. And how much it is just, like, a different controller. I think if I wanted to do a better test of, you know, like playing Stellar Blade on the Steam controller, I should be current with the game. I'm not, you know, I'm not really current with it. I'm way too rusty to be doing stuff normally. So I gotta think about my actions a little bit more. Okay, you meant more like non-Sony Microsoft controllers and now the Steam one. For instance, you have a Turtle Beach controller for like 200 pounds or something? Or 200 euros? I'm pretty sure that's pounds. I'm so ignorant. Why am I so American? And those 4 paddles also just remap one button to another. Anything else is impossible. You mean, yeah, you can't do like extra inputs. Yeah, I know what you mean. Reggie used to work at Nintendo of America. This is true. With enough brainstorming with the commands, we're going to make you do a back button only boss run. That sounds like fun, actually. That's a good idea. That's a really good idea, Rook. I'm being genuine. That sounds like a really fun challenge. I gotta set up my back buttons to take care of all my actions. That was just early there. I'm also not counting. Reggie was promoting the mod Retro 64 and he's at GameStop still? Yes? Okay. Thank you for confirming. You can play Switch/Switch 2 if you decide to get one. Windows, iOS, and Android, and you can play some of your retro consoles with this just one controller. Wait, what controller is it, Juan? I don't know if you posted the name of it. What controller did you buy? You want both your sticks on top and D-pad buttons on the bottom. I mean, I like Xbox layout too. I just prefer Sony's. It's to me, it's perfect, and it's just more ergonomic to me as well. But I also don't play first-person shooters, so it's not something that I ever miss having the analog stick up there. Granted, I still like Xbox controller for other things. Like, there's any Souls-like, I'd rather play on an Xbox controller. It just feels more correct playing a Souls-like on an Xbox controller. I guess because I prefer the pad, like the bumpers. Basically, in a game where you're mainly attacking with the bumpers, I like doing that on Xbox. But then any game where you're using the face buttons more, I much prefer PlayStation's face buttons. So that's really the main thing. Like, I played through Elden Ring. I played my first couple playthroughs of Lies of P. I did all of that on my Xbox controller, and it was awesome. I played through Sekiro on Xbox controller. Granted, I would play those games on a PlayStation controller too, it's just not preferred. 1, 2, and 3. Okay, let me try to think here. I'm getting owned by Gigas. Let me try to do a little bit better. One, 2, and 3. Yeah, it feels good. Everything about this controller feels natural. I mean, I just picked it up and immediately started playing. There's no adjustment period. There's no like, oh, I gotta get used to this. But granted, I'm coming from a DualSense Edge, which is already a big controller. It's already a big controller and it's already a heavy controller. So like the weight of it feels good. The only thing I don't really like is the buttons do feel small. I guess it's on the Steam Deck, it doesn't bother me. Because, you know, it's a handheld, so it's kind of like expected, right? 1, 2. But I can feel the face buttons are smaller. I guess I just miss my PlayStation face buttons. But it's this is the kind of thing I could easily get used to this. I would happily play through a full playthrough of Stellar Blade or whatever game on these. It's just a preference. I do prefer the bigger buttons on PlayStation. So like if you were coming from like a Nintendo Switch Pro controller, you'd think, what is this? This is some kind of toy? Because the Switch Pro controller really just has gigantic buttons. I mean, they're comically large. 1, and 2, and 3. That was way too early. But the analog sticks feel good. They feel pretty smooth despite not having... This is something I wish they had. There's no friction rings on these. Like, a DualSense has these rings. You see these rings? Where the light's reflecting? It's got these rings to stop it from, like, grinding against the plastic. So, like, instead of grinding against the plastic of the controller, it's just, you know, pushing up against these friction rings, which help make it feel smoother. And then on the Switch 2 Pro controller, for example, that one, you don't even... It doesn't even make contact. This was something that I noticed when I tested it a little bit, is that the analog stick basically stops before it reaches like the edge, like the gates, basically. So this is like gated. Whereas on the Switch 2 Pro controller, it's almost like there's no gates because you don't reach, it doesn't make it all the way over there, you know what I mean? But it still feels, despite that, it still feels smooth. And you know, actually, the Steam Deck is the same way. It's the same way and it feels equally smooth. You know, over time, I guess this would cause some wear, but it's not like, I mean, there's a bunch of controllers that are like this, and it's a kind of where it probably doesn't matter. But yeah, it's something to note. It's not as smooth as like a Switch 2 Pro controller or as a DualSense Edge, which has that extra little bit of smoothness. Very minor though, it doesn't really bother me. Just something I noticed. Okay. Where am I going? Where's the boss? Oh. That's a GameSir Supernova. GameSir Supernova. I tried one of their controllers. I tried the GameSir G7HE, I believe. And I didn't like it because it was too small for me. That was I liked everything else. It felt weird because like it was so short. I didn't like that. So I returned it. But it seems like it has a lot of good features. So if you're used to like the small size of it, if you can get used, I could have gotten used to that. I didn't feel like getting used to it. So I didn't. But it does have good features like, you know, that thing had like Hall effect sticks and it had, if you want micro switch buttons, it had micro switch buttons. I didn't care for them personally. because it doesn't feel... I like my controller to feel kind of traditional. If it feels like a keyboard, it's just kind of weird. It's a little bit off-putting. Now, granted, I think that those kind of face buttons, like those... if you have like micro switch face buttons, I feel like that's really good if you're, you know, if you're playing some kind of game that's really sweaty, where you might want that faster actuation. But for any kind of single player game, I don't care, dude. It doesn't feel like as comfortable as like the natural. Basically, I like the natural feel of rubber domes, for example, that I'm just so used to playing with. So that on my game, sir, that I tried wasn't. It was a deal breaker for me, or that wasn't a deal breaker, but it was one of the things that, you know, the deal breaker was the small size, but combined with me really not liking the buttons, I was kind of like, yeah, this controller is not for me. But I still tried it. And I'm glad that I know I didn't like it. I'm glad that I figured that out. I do like other GameSir products. Like I have a GameSir phone controller thing. It's like a telescoping controller for my phone that you can, like, you know, drop your phone into, it extends out, and I use it to play like emulators or whatever. 1, 2, 3. And that controller is really good. I do like that one. Oh my gosh, I'm sorry. I'm not even... You can't even see the gameplay. My bad. It's been a minute. I apologize. It's been like 2 weeks since I've streamed. Thankfully, I just died a few times, so no big deal. Each higher tier of stick has more unique positions on their X and Y axes. So, axes is the plural of axis, by the way. So it allows for more precision. By the way, I'm only busting his balls because that's my friend in real life. TMR is twice the price as Hall Effect. How in the hell have they even fitted TMR sticks in the same controller, including gyro and stuff, for just £100? I don't know. I don't think TMR costs that much. I think that, I don't know why the mainstream brands don't use it. There has to be a reason. I mean, it could just be like they really want controllers to die for people, but like planned obsolescence. But I feel like there must be some other reason where, I don't know. Maybe they just like aren't happy with the supplier of them. It is weird. I think that the technology is definitely cheap enough now where I don't know why they don't just do it. You know. Maybe it's like a traditionalist mindset where they're just like, nope, we only use regular analog sticks. Or maybe it's like a compatibility thing. You know, since we were talking about how TMR does help, it communicates more information than like a regular analog stick. So maybe there's actual software compatibility reasons that they just don't do that on console by default. Because then they'd have to like do it at, maybe it's like a firmware level kind of thing to even support all that. 1, 2, 3. Maybe it affects battery life in some way. I mean, it probably would use slightly more battery, or... I don't know. I have no idea. Maybe it's something to do with because you're communicating so much more information. Maybe they haven't found like a reliable way to like have good battery life combined with like, you know, reliable wireless connection. I'm trying to like brainstorm why they might not do TMR sticks on like a mainstream controller, for example. But like if having to communicate more information over, you know, wireless for the analog sticks somehow affects reliability of like their signal, I don't know. It all sounds like excuses to me. But maybe for the next console, wouldn't that be great? I mean, like for the next consoles, they should at least have Hall Effect, I feel like. Because, I mean, Sony can't really be happy to replace... Like, they still got to replace stick drifting controllers under warranty. So, like, is it like some kind of... Maybe it's like a long-term play, like, yeah, we'll pay some money in returns and, like, not returns, but warranty and stuff. But then they'll end up buying more controllers over the long run. I don't know. 1, 2, 3, 4. I don't know. Hello, Raccoon Looks. Thank you for tuning in. Also, hello, Trisaru. Thank you for tuning in as well. Trisaru, how's your playthrough of Lies of P going? Did you ever finish it? Or am I thinking of somebody else? Who am I thinking? Was it you that started Lies of P the other month or the other week? Oh, this was a little bit of a while ago. I haven't streamed in a while. The DualSense controller sucks on battery life. It does. This is true. This is like its main Achilles heel. It has horrible battery life. And 1, 2, 3, 4. And the DualSense Edge has even worse battery life. Oh, I'm thinking of somebody else. Who was playing Lies of P? Oh, you were playing the game I recommended, which is Resonance of Fate. Which did you finish that one? I gotta stream more often. I'm forgetting. So then you were Resonance of Fate. Who was playing Lies of P? Maybe it was. When I see their username, I'll probably remember. This controller feels good though, man. I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying it. Your battery life is the same on your Elite Series 2 with TMR. This is true. My friend Blue Vader in chat here, he put TMR sticks on his Xbox controller. And per his one anecdotal account, battery life is the same. So, solved. But yeah, man, DualSense has horrible battery life. Even like the regular DualSense, which has much better battery life than the DualSense Edge, it sucks. It's so bad. It's like, it feels like 8 hours. So every time I use it, I'm like, okay, I gotta charge it. After every use, after every play session, I'm like, I gotta charge this, otherwise it's gonna be dying next time I use it, so. Oh, you stopped playing Resonance of Fate because you lost interest, unfortunately. Oh man, got too grindy? Well, I'm glad you gave it a try. 1, 2, 3. Wait, that's not a blink. Most people probably buy new controllers rather than sending them in to wait 2 years for them to come back. 2 years? Even when you called 1-800 for my Xbox to get your Xbox 360 repaired after a Red Ring of Death, it took like a month. Then again, maybe it's faster in America. I don't know. One, 2, 3. Ooh. I wasn't quite fast enough. Before I died, I got the triangle square in before the 4th parry on that string. You can do it, you just gotta be like really fast. I love Stalker, I love this boss fight. One, 2, 3. Flash. Mashing feels good. That's the first time I mashed something on this controller. I don't think you'd want to play Mario Party on this, but like, it's still it feels good mashing. Okay, phase 2. Why wouldn't I want to play Mario Party? Well, Mario Party is a button masher. Everybody knows this. And so you gotta have really, like, good buttons for mashing. Oh shit, that did not work out. 1, 2, 3. Bam, bam. You actually have time to... I've never tried that. But that's fun that you have time to do a counter 2 the first half of it anyway before he does his unblockable there. Because that string is of course it's uninterruptible. So doing the counter 2 doesn't stop him from doing the unblockable there. Pretty neat. Never tried that. You were playing Mario Party Superstars today and you were trying to get all the achievements, but struggling. Yeah, Blue Vader 2 in chat here. He's one of my best friends in real life, and his entire personality is Mario Party. So if you had any kind of question about any Mario Party game, he has... At one point, he actually like started a website about like chronicling all sorts of information about Mario Party, but his favorite is Mario Party 3. He thinks all the new ones are garbage. And not only does he think they're garbage, he thinks that if you play them, you're an asshole. So, yeah. I'm just kidding. About partially, there's a lot of truth in that, but I forget. I think he likes Jamboree. He likes Jamboree. You can tell him. I don't even. I'm just bullshitting. Don't listen to me because I'm normally not so sarcastic, but because he's here, I feel like I have to. Nice. I mean, if you're not busting your friends' balls all the time, are you even friends? Wait, Mario Superstars has achievements? But it's a Switch game. What are the achievements? Wait, what are the oh, it must be... Because, like, okay, hold on. Is it like, I know, like, in some Switch games, they give you achievements, but it's not like an achievement system like Xbox has or PlayStation has trophies. They just have, like, a list on, like, the main menu of just, like, you know, in-game achievements you can do, I guess. I don't know what the point of that is or, like, what the unlockables are, but I didn't know that game had achievements. Your favorite Mario Party is the first one, and you only play Superstars because of the nostalgia. Okay. It's in-game achievements, I see. What do you get for doing them? Did you guys hear that Xbox is going to come out with some competitor to Platinum trophies? That sounds hilarious, but it's true. They're coming out with an answer. This is like 17 years later now? No. Yeah, 17 years later. I believe trophies came out in 2009. They're now coming out with an answer to the Platinum trophy. Because I guess it wasn't enough gratification getting like a bigger number. No, we need Platinums on Xbox now. So I'm curious if like somehow will they retroactively unlock if you have 1,000 gamer score at least in a game? I don't know, because I mean, traditionally, 1,000 gamer score was like, that was like a Platinum trophy, you know? Shit. Roke, thank you for 19 months. That's a long time, dude. I appreciate that. That's like... Dude, that's a long time. That's like 2 pregnancies back to back with a 1-month buffer in between, because obviously you can't get pregnant right away. Like there'd be a lot of swelling and stuff too. Anyway, I don't think you can even like physically get pregnant for a while, but that's a long time is my point. So I appreciate that fist bump. Mainline Pokemon games though, hoping Pal World really pushes them to innovate. I fully agree. Yeah, Pokemon has disappointed me since Sword and Shield. Like, majorly disappointed me. Dude, I think I've gotten enough testing where I can just kind of move on to Resident Evil now. After this boss, I'm going to go and play some RE4, because I want to feel what aiming is like. I really want to feel what it's like, so we're going to do more impressions soon. But yeah, the buttons feel great. I have... The only thing I really don't like that much is the buttons, like the face button size. It's not even that I don't like it, it's just I'd have to get used to them. That's all. It's just like a little bit of an adjustment thing. But they feel good to press. I like pressing these buttons more than Xbox face buttons. But I like Xbox controllers analog sticks more because they feel nice and grippy. These aren't anywhere near as grippy. These are just like the analog sticks on Steam Deck, which are good. It's just not as good as those. Oh, I did that by accident. Whoops. I'm talking about the Xbox Elite controller, by the way. On the Elite controller specifically, those analog sticks feels incredible. They feel so good to grab onto. Like they're so tactile feeling and they're so grippy. They're awesome. Repulse. Big jump. Nice. Let's interrupt that. Down him. Charge more bursts. Did he just give up? He like stopped moving for a little bit there. That was kind of interesting. He can do that sometimes though. At the very end, I wanted to do a beta chain there on my aerial attack. I just messed it up. Okay, that was a great test. I'm happy with that. I'm gonna stop there because we've already been streaming for over an hour and I haven't even gotten into RE4 yet. So let's move on and test some Resident Evil 4. What a crazy death. Gino doesn't even play Pokemon. I played the best one. I played Soul Silver, so like you can't even say that. If Nintendo doesn't like Pal World, we know what happens. Oh yeah, they would take it down, right? Wasn't there like a whole, like they were trying to sue them or something and then they gave up? I don't know. I might be remembering this way incorrectly. Oh, it gives you nothing. Probably for doing the... Hold on, I might have missed something. Oh, you just unlock stuff. I see. If Nintendo doesn't... 2 pregnancies and a month's buffer. What an interesting way to measure time. What can I say? Gotta say, Nintendo does not get enough hate. Playing Pokemon Ultra Sun right now a lot because they're shutting down Pokemon Bank next year. They're shutting down Pokemon Bank? Oh my gosh, what are we gonna do? How are we gonna... What about all the high interest Pokemon savings accounts? The only reason to pay for home is to use Poke Bank. Because you can just move your bank Pokemon into your games. Alright, whatever. That is devious. That death was pretty funny. TMR sticks on Resident Evil. Nice. Yeah, let's try it. Let's jump into RE4 right now. Last time we played this game, I was working on unlocking the RPD costume, which if you didn't know, you unlock by doing Mercenaries mode and getting an S+ rank with every character on every map. Which is a lot of stages to do. I'm going to switch my game capture to RE4. Bam. Okay, perfect. I'm enjoying this. I'm gonna use the bathroom real quick as well. Dev, how are you doing, man? Thank you for tuning in. What's good? Happy Tuesday. Hey, did you play Separate Ways yet? Shout out to Dev who won our last giveaway. So he won a $10 gift card. And Separate Ways happens to be $10, but you know, obviously, it's his giveaway money to use. He can use it on anything, but that's what I would have done. It's crazy that you didn't play. You should have played Separate Ways when you played through RE4 because it's so good. It's, in my opinion, Separate Ways is like a more fun campaign than the main story. But I also am biased because it's shorter, so it's like an easier one-sitting thing. You can play through the main story in one sitting too, but Separate Ways is like a really easy one-sitting playthrough. Main story, you gotta like set aside an entire afternoon, you know? But I love Separate Ways. I love it because it's like the perfect vertical slice of RE4 where you go through all the areas, but in a shorter, it's just so condensed. It's like jam-packed of just action. So I love it. I love running through. I've played through Separate Ways more times than the main campaign, and I played through the main campaign a lot. Okay, I'll be right back. We're gonna continue our Steam controller testing after these messages from my sponsor, which is me. Be right back. My cat is here. He jumped off my bed already? Oh, okay, well, never mind. Doesn't want to be on camera. Gonna play it soon, but you're debating on getting it on Steam or PS5? You have RE4 on both? I would get it on Steam then. How long is it measured in RE3 remake playthroughs? Separate ways? It's like 1. RE3 is pretty short. It's a little bit shorter, if I'm being honest. It's probably like your first playthrough of RE3 and your first playthrough of Separate Ways. Separate Ways will be like probably a couple hours, not by much, but a little bit shorter. But that's actually a great comparison because both of those, like, what I love about RE3 is that it's so short, it's super easily replayable. When it came out, I played through it like 6 times. It was really fun. They used a lot of Gen AI, and the AI used a lot of their designs as a base. They did lose, yeah. Oh, right, with Pal World. I knew it was something like that. Wait, so Nintendo lost? That's crazy. I didn't think... Because, I mean, obviously Pal World is still a game. It's still being sold. I didn't think Nintendo had the capability of losing in court for any reason. Okay, anyway. So, first, Steam input. What the hell's going on here? Oh, I see. Okay, so let's talk about this. Alright, so if you have a Steam Deck and you have a layout for a game, it will automatically use that layout for... if you have Steam input enabled, I guess, or like if you have the Steam controller at least. I haven't tested it if you plug in like a random other controller and then turn on Steam input. But at least with the Steam controller, it automatically put the layout that I have for RE4 on my Steam Deck. Because I played a little bit of RE4 on Steam Deck to mess around in Mercenaries. And this is what I do. I put up on my left D-pad, or my left D-pad up as this back button on Steam Deck. And then I very optimistically thought, oh, maybe I'll use the bottom left back button as D-pad left so I can switch to my pistol easier. But that button is so hard to press. I don't know. Or not my pistol, my shotgun is on the left. But then D-pad up is my pistol, which I like to go back to a lot. So the reason I put these D-pad buttons there on Steam Deck is because it's not as comfortable. It's actually worse on Steam Deck because since it's perfectly... Oh, this is a good point. Since the analog stick is perfectly on like the same axis as the D-pad on Steam Deck, like it's a little bit higher, it's even harder to quickly, I think anyway. Like here, it's a little bit easier. But when it's like this, it's not as easy to quickly jump over to the D-pad to do something like switch weapons. So that's why I was like, okay, I'll just put them on my back buttons. But on this controller, it's more comfortable, so I don't really want to do that. I'd rather have something else. So in fact, something I'd like to try is, I heard you could even map, like flipping the camera around to one of these inputs. So for example, let's say I wanted to, let's try it on here. I'm not going to use this, but let's try it on here. I guess I'll do it on this one. So settings, that's not what I want. I'm going to remove this command, add command. I want camera. So look, under camera, look at these. This is crazy. You can either reset your camera, turn camera 360, or left analog stick and plus left stick face direction. Left joystick. Wait, turn the camera to face the direction of the input. Trackpad. Ah, I see. Adjust the turn duration to make the turn response shorter or longer. This action requires the dots per 360 degree setting to be calibrated in either gyro to mouse or fight stick modes. Interesting, but no, that's not what I want. I heard someone like they were used one of their back buttons or the grip sense or something to do a 180. Oh, here we go. It's this. It's just, this is turn camera 360, which I don't know why you would do that, but I want to turn it 180. Let's try that. How does that work? So I want to put it at 180. Can I do... I can write it in, of course. 180 degrees. Spin duration, 250. We'll see how this works. I don't think this is going to work. It's not going to turn my character around just because... This is an FPS thing. It's not going to work. Because you can turn the camera around without Leon turning around or whatever character. But let's just see how that works. Okay, Mercenaries. And then this game, I don't really need back buttons for it, but what I mostly am curious about is how aiming feels. So I haven't done... What's one that I can just knock out in the meantime too? I guess let's just do one of these bullshit Luis ones. I don't really like playing as Luis. I don't like the red 9, but anyway. It's okay. Hey, this is even better. It's going to be like a more difficult pistol for me to use with new controller. So how does this feel? Well, it feels about the same compared to what I'm used to, which is a DualSense. But I guess I just really got to start aiming and stuff. Nice. Oh, so let's try doing my 180. Didn't quite give me 180. Hang on, look at this. I pressed the button and it only did like 90 degrees. It must be related to my sensitivity settings, but this is what I'm getting. I'm not getting the actual 180, because 180 would be... I'd be back here, which again wouldn't really help, but it would still kind of help, because then in theory if I was doing this and then I pressed forward on my left analog stick, I'd start running backwards. So it would kind of work. In that case, let's just try 360. Let's just see, how does 360 work? 360, confirm. Okay. I forget this game has photo mode. It still doesn't quite go around all the way, but almost. So if you wanted to, you could be like running and then bam. That kind of works. But in a first-person shooter, that'd be really nice, right? Probably. Because you would just flip around instantly. It's like borderline cheating, isn't it? But yeah, in a third-person shooter, it doesn't really work like I was thinking. And the other thing is too, like I'm trying to create solutions to a problem that doesn't exist, because it's already very easy to do a 180. It's like a command. You know, you just press circle and back, and then bam, you're turning around. But what could be interesting is if you messed around with the grip sense to do a 180, because now you have like way more inputs available, right? I don't even know, like, I don't need back buttons for this game. The control layout is just perfect. But what could... Oh, maybe something I could do? Oh, hang on, I got one. I'll put it here. I'll do gamepad, this, and then subcommand, this. So now my R5, is that what I want? Is that how I want to do it? I guess so. So my R5 should be left stick click plus right stick click, which is the mayhem mode in this game. So instead of pressing both analog sticks, just press one button. That's like a little something you could do, I guess, but you don't really need it too much. You don't need it too much in RE4. Okay. They lost to a man who owns a supermarket called Super Mario something, and the reasoning was that a lot of people in South America or Mexico, many people name their store Super, insert name. I heard about that story, yeah, and then they sold like knockoff Nintendo toys in there as well. That is a funny story. I'm glad that they won that. Steam controller is only 250 Hz, so it's not going to be too different because of input delay. But it is technically more precise. Isn't 250 Hz used with Bluetooth? 250 milliseconds on a true wireless controller sounds awful. Well, yeah, the polling rate is different from the response time. Those are different things. My cat wants out. Okay, he's explaining stuff. Thank you. Oh, you just recall a lot of Bluetooth devices being capped at 250? I don't know about that. Maybe. I guess you would need, I guess you would need a dongle to unlock more capability, which makes sense that they'd want you to use the puck, because I guess you'd have more. But this is only 250, so you don't even need it for that. Certain controllers are 1000 Hz. The DualSense can be set to 1000 with some tools, etc. ad nauseum. Hang on, I'll be right back. Okay. All right, let me just focus more on aiming here. I don't like playing as Luis, as another preface. I'm gonna try to do a full run now. His melees are so slow. Okay, that doesn't matter. Relax. The red 9 is strong though. It does do a lot of damage. Alright, so let's go this way. Actually, I'll let him get up. I barely kept my streak alive. Nice. That was a one-shot kill. Amazing. And where is he storing this, like, yellow pry bar thing? He just keeps that in his back pocket. He's got, like, infinite pockets, like Spy Fox or something. These one-shot kills feel good. Yeah, I mean, aiming feels good. It doesn't feel bad at all. I could definitely play on this. Oh, nice. Collateral. I like doing the Sparta kicks with Luis. Oh, that killed the guy on the floor. Very nice. That was efficient, because he was transforming. That was really good. Anyway, the reason I like doing Sparta kicks with Luis, like in particular, I don't really go for the headshots as much. Like if I were playing as Ada, I always go for headshots. But with Luis, because that melee is kind of slow, I prefer doing the kicks. So it's very deliberate that I do that. In that sense, it kind of feels like I'm playing RE9, because in RE9 I go for a lot of leg shots as well. Bam. I barely kept my streak alive again. Nice. Another one. I can get one more probably if I'm quick. And another one. Yeah, so I mean, that helped a little bit. Using the back buttons there to do my ult, you know, made it a little bit smoother. So that was good. I mean, this is very much like, you don't need a Steam controller to do that. But I'm like looking for uses for these back buttons. The reason is I also want to just test how does it feel to use the bottom back buttons. Because I'm someone who, number one, I'm not used to having 4 back buttons. I like playing with, I mean, I'm good with 2. But since they're already built into the controller, may as well try it. And yeah, they feel really nice to use. Sparta. This is Sparta. That is so brutal the way they lose their... Oh shit. That is so brutal the way they lose their legs. Oh gosh, too many things happening. Let's just do this. The shield blocked my shot, but it didn't matter. I should have gone for one more dynamite right there. That was bad. That was a misplay. Let's go up here. We haven't gone up here yet. Oh, okay. Lost his balance there. Sorry, buddy. Who's aiming an RPG at me? Okay. Answered my own question. Let's heal. Sparta. This is Sparta. This is Sparta. Oh, the spiders are here. Okay, well this is why I have flashbangs. Okay, I have it on up. Oh yeah, I forgot I have a sniper. Let's snipe someone. I shot his helmet off. Okay. Wait, hold on. I need to kill. I need to get a kill immediately. There we go. This is Sparta. Feels good. So this might not be the best example of aiming because I'm not doing any kind of like crazy, you know, like flicking or whatever. Nice, collateral, let's go. But I don't even have like a first-person shooter installed to even test that, to be honest. And even if I did, I don't play FPSs on controller, so like it wouldn't be a good test, you know what I mean? So this is the best I can do as far as aim. But I feel good using this in this game. This is Sparta. Collateral, look at that 3-hit kill, nice. Or that 3-shot. Bam. That didn't kill him? Okay. Let's do it right here. This is gonna be a really good dynamite, watch this. I was too slow with it, I lost my streak. That is hugely disappointing. I'll probably lose sleep over that. Oh well, it's okay. Damn, I was just... There were so many enemies in the way. Welcome back, Agatoki. Just got home from work? Hell yeah. I lost another streak. Oh, okay, I probably should have just executed that guy who was on his knees. Had I just done the melee, I would have had time to do the melee. Oh well. If we just finish this out though, I'll still get an S+. Getting an S+ is not that hard to do. Like, if you complete the round, that's a guaranteed S+. Like, it's gonna happen. Drop some dynamite. But if you want an S++ and a really good score, that's not as free. Because ideally you want to get, you know, a full combo. You want to kill all 150 enemies in a row. This is Sparta. Oh, okay, that was a good parry. We knocked the Molotov back at him. Oh, I was about to get a nice melee. Crouch. Dude, this is ridiculous. Hold on, I need to get out of here. I'm in a bad spot. I'm in a really bad spot. Nice. Let's go downstairs. Oh, hello. Good aim. That felt good to do. Ooh. Okay, we barely escaped that. Drop one more dynamite, because why not? I'm about to lose it. Nice. I'm gonna grab this dynamite. This, okay. This mayhem mode. Why not? Drop some more dynamite. Heal. Beautiful. That was excellent. I could have dropped one more dynamite. I wasn't paying attention. I'm not used to playing Luis. Spiders, don't want to deal with that. I don't deal with that at all. Oh gosh. Another one. Come in and melee everybody. Hold on. I'm fine. I have dynamite. Heal again. This is my last heal. Thank goodness that dynamite went off because I didn't feel good about my position there. Oh, and I got a bunch of health. Amazing. Alright, we're so back. And now I'm going to kill these 2 boss enemies with my dynamite and we're going to be good. Watch this. And then this one. And then this one. Wait, I have dynamite. Or I have a grenade. This'll work. I think they died, right? Oh, he's still alive. Okay. Well, it was sloppy, but we got there. That dynamite killed nobody. Awesome. This should get the last 2 kills. Got one of them. Here's the last guy. Yeah, I would say it feels good. Aiming feels good. It's comparable to DualSense Edge. I don't really notice much difference. I feel good using either of them. I should probably play a little bit as Ada though, because that's like my main character. So I'd be going for more headshots with Ada. Let's do an Ada round. Okay, what should I do with... Hold on. Timestamp. I'll do a quick... And I would play with Leon, because I do need an S+ with Leon here, but the thing is, Leon's pistol doesn't use the crosshair, it uses a red dot sight, so it's not really the same, it doesn't feel the same. So I'll just do an Ada. Let's go Ada... Let's go Ada Castle. No, let's go Ada... Let's go here. It's like the hardest stage. Juan, thank you for gifting a membership. I appreciate that. We're at 30 again. Shout out to, congratulations to Kurt Lin 8723, and shout out again to Juan. Oh yeah, I have the EVE mod disabled. That felt good. That guy's transforming. I see. Nice collateral. Yeah, normally I would be playing with the EVE mod, but I had to disable it for some reason. So we just have regular Ada right now, which is nice. It's nice to play with just, you know, standard Ada too, every once in a while. Now, I could use my right back button to enter Mayhem mode with Ada too, which, you know, it has like a small advantage over pressing the analog sticks. Like, pressing both analog sticks never feels great. It's not an action I ever really like doing, in general. Oh, I'm gonna lose my streak. Horrendous. That's okay, though. I'll keep going. I'm not gonna break my score now, I don't think, but... Get him. That wasn't enough. Here we go. I'm a woman, let go of me. Alright. Yeah, tracking feels normal-ish. If I played with this for a while, I'd probably notice a little bit more of a difference, but it just feels like I'm playing on a DualSense Edge. I mean, even as far as like, even the analog sticks are in like the same position. So, aiming wise, it feels good. It's at least comparable. I mean, if anything, it'd be better, right? Because it's TMR sticks are more accurate or whatever. Blah blah blah. Okay, let's go for one of these. I missed. There we go. That's what I wanted. Don't got time for you. I want more headshots. Oh man, I was rushing. I probably could have gotten that guy had I just been a little bit slower to aim. Ow. I'm gonna die. Oh, okay, he finished off the enemy for me. That was nice of him. Oh, that's the wrong weapon. Completely mismanaged my mayhem mode there. That's okay. I didn't even get any extra headshots, so that was like basically the worst possible score-wise. Thank you. Oh, you know what I should have done? I should have done village. Because on the village level, they throw dynamite at you. And you can shoot the dynamite out of the air if you're quick enough. And that'd be like a really good test of aiming. You didn't die? Oh my gosh. I definitely prefer the D-pad on the DualSense Edge, that's for sure. But like the D-pad's not bad. You know what I should do? I should also do a test on like... I could play 9 Souls. Probably not going to right now, but like I should do a test on a 2D Metroidvania type game where, you know, like a Hollow Knight type of game where movement really matters. Just to get a better impression of the D-pad. Because just like switching weapons is really not enough. It's not enough data. Oh, I was trying to get the melee. Don't die, don't die, don't die. I'm gonna save one grenade or one green herb just in case. Of course he had body armor. This is not going well as far as my score, but I'll finish the round. Oh wow, thank you for the assist. That guy killed all of his teammates. What an asshole. Here's some dynamite. Let's try to shoot this out of the air. If he throws it at us. Okay, that worked. Yeah, so I mean, aiming feels good. It feels good. It's like, you know, I feel like I'm at the same level as when I'm just playing on a DualSense, you know? Which is like my favorite. I'm missing my headshots. I don't have any flashbangs. Not even one. Oh my goodness. Collateral. 4 kills on 1 melee. Very nice. That's not good. I have grenades though. I have a grenade. Throw that. Okay, it did something. It did a non-zero amount of damage. Very timely melee, that was good. I got a chainsaw guy here. Good dynamite. Okay, where's Chainsaw Man? Dead. Now I need headshots for score. Ow. No, yeah, that was not great. Reload my shotgun. I was taking my time there. And just like that, another boss wave. I could have crouched, but luckily I was out of that range. I was out of range of that guy's grab, so it didn't matter, but I should have crouched as a reaction. Wow, if I was fast enough there, I could have backstabbed that shield guy. That would have been sick. And now I'm wasting my mayhem mode. Not good. Very good. Explosive arrow.
And that's the game.
Okay. So I like this controller a lot. Some of it is just the novelty factor, right? That was kind of a rubbish score. What was my high score in that round? On that map is 1.546. Okay. So some of it is still just novelty, but I think if you had a use case where you have some kind of creative use for it actually like making getting the most out of your trackpads and the grip senses, like again, it's when you let go and then when you touch it, when you grab it, that's an input. There's definitely some cool stuff you could do with this, but there's a lot of cool stuff you can just do with Steam input in general already, you know? So you don't need this controller to get the most out of Steam input. You might see this and think, oh cool, Steam input, but you can just take whatever controller you have and mess around with Steam input, and if you like the capabilities of Steam input and want more, then you have even more with this, because of course you got trackpads. Hello CNewt is out on, thank you for tuning in. Okay, I missed a bunch of messages. RE4, horrible game for like multitasking, like reading chat, because it's way too hard to read chat while playing. Had a thought, my inner dead zones by default in RE4 are probably really high, which will make every stick feel the same. Oh, the inner, I see. Potentially. When I come over to your house, I'll let you mess around with that kind of stuff. Wish more games would have dead zone sliders. It'd be great just to help people who have, you know, issues with stick drift, right? Because then you could get more out of your controllers through software. At 35 members, Bliss will sing the SpongeBob SquarePants theme. Did I agree to this? So many games have such high dead zones, making it weird for some controllers. Wait, really? He'll sing the SpongeBob theme? I didn't sign anything. I didn't sign anything. Win SpongeBob song? Where did this come from? It's such a... I mean, I love SpongeBob. I mean, I could probably, off the top of my head, I probably know all the lyrics. How does it start? What's the very first thing the pirate guy says? Patchy. Are you ready, kids? Aye, aye, Captain. I can't hear you. Aye, aye, Captain. Oh. He lives in a pineapple under the sea. SpongeBob SquarePants. And then after that, I don't remember. He lives in a pineapple under the sea. SpongeBob SquarePants. Something. SpongeBob SquarePants. Something nautical. Oh my gosh, I don't know the lyrics, and I've watched infinite amounts of SpongeBob as a kid, but I only really remember the very beginning, and then the end, of course. The end is easy. And then the little, you know, the little flute bit or whatever. Oh, good night, Juan. Thank you for tuning in. Congrats again on getting your new controller, dude. Gotta focus on your ultra sun hunts and off to bed. Take care, man. Thanks again for the gifted membership. I appreciate you. GG's. Thank you, GG's. Need those EVE emotes? I know we do. It's too hard. It's too hard to decide which ones to remove. But I gotta at least get the... I want at least the wave and the GG, the EVE GG one. I need them. I need them in chat. Anyway, I think that's a good stream. We streamed for what? Almost 2 hours? Basically 2 hours. I got some... So to wrap up my impressions of the Steam controller, it's really nice. For $100, you really do get a ton of functionality. I mean, like an incredible amount of functionality. Not to mention you also get the puck, which is a charger as well as like a really high quality wireless connection. The face buttons are kind of small. They feel like the face buttons on the Steam Deck, but I believe they're a tiny bit bigger. Like, you probably wouldn't even notice, but they're a tiny bit bigger than the Steam Deck face buttons, but they're definitely smaller compared to my favorite, you know, a DualSense face buttons like these. And I mean, you can just see they're smaller. You can obviously see they're smaller. And if you're coming from a Nintendo Switch Pro controller, these are going to feel tiny. Analog sticks feel great though. We were playing some RE4 just now. Aiming feels good. The actual actuating the buttons feels good. They're satisfying to press. For the face buttons I'm still talking about. So playing Stellar Blade felt good. Just the positioning, they're kind of close together compared to like a DualSense. Like you can just see, like you see this gap. Look at this. You see this gap? I can comfortably fit my pinky in between compared to, you see this? Like, you see how like I'm touching so much there? You can just see the flesh on my pinky touching so much more. So they're just closer together. So it's a little bit of an adjustment. Not a bad thing. It's just something to adjust and something to take note of. The back buttons feel awesome. They feel really good to press. They have just the right amount of actuation where like you don't feel like you're accidentally going to press them. I don't feel like I'm accidentally going to press them ever. I think I accidentally pressed this one once during that last round because I think I turned around or something. I did something. What do I have it mapped to? Yeah, I have my bottom left back button set to turn 360, and I did by accident there once. So I guess in the heat of the moment, I accidentally pressed it, which is why my camera jumped. That was towards the end with Ada there. But otherwise, they do feel good. Like, if I were to play on this for a couple days, I'd get completely used to it. You know, the D-pad feels just like the D-pad on the Steam Deck, which is a good D-pad. But I gotta try some kind of 2D platformer to really get a better idea of what this feels like. If I had Tekken, that'd be a good test. I would just be curious how does it feel to do electrics and stuff, but I don't have a Tekken game installed right now. Whatever, it doesn't matter. You know, the trackpads are the trackpads from the Steam Deck, so if you like them, they're gonna feel the same and they're nice. But I haven't really used them for anything besides playing like Aperture Desk Job, which is like a kind of a tech showcase for the Steam Deck controls. Oh, okay, the bumpers. The bumpers feel kind of like DualSense bumpers. Very similar, just quieter, but the same kind of actuation. Nothing compared to like Xbox controllers. Bumpers are way clickier. These are like the best. Although these are kind of notoriously like they kind of go bad. But it's something you can fix on your own. But these, like, I've heard a lot of accounts of people's R1 or L1 dying. It happened to my L1 actually, and I got it fixed under warranty. But yeah, it feels good. I like the bumpers. The triggers are okay. Something kind of cool, when you press them down all the way, you do get a little bit of a vibration. The trackpads vibrate, so you can feel it from up here. So you get that vibration feedback that you're at the bottom. But there's no adjustability, which, you know, for $100, maybe they could have fit that in, but maybe it would have been awkward to make it work somehow. Because, like, I don't know how much space there is. Like, there's already so much stuff packed in here. I would have liked a little trigger lock to, like, have different settings, but it doesn't really... It's not... Hang on, let me try something. It's not to the point where, like... Here, for example, this doesn't go down as much. It feels like this is deeper. So, it doesn't really bother me. Like, the DualSense controller's deepest triggers feel too deep. That's why I like them on the middle setting. So I play them on setting number 2, so it's in the middle. It's not a complete hair trigger, but, like, it's shorter. This one doesn't feel where it's deep enough. Fast and Furious. It doesn't feel like it's deep enough for me where it really bothers me, so I don't really mind not having that. But if you did play, like, a lot of FPSs, which I don't think FPS people are really using this, I would think more FPS people are just using, like, cheaper controllers that you can just beat into the ground and you can replace for cheap, because, like, the FPS people will be playing a lot of hours, right? In general, like, the competitive SPS folks. So I feel like this is too premium to really use, like, to beat into the ground with an FPS competitive game. Then again, it does have TMR sticks, so I don't know. Maybe there is FPS folks using it legitimately. I mean, you could be using it with gyro, so I don't know. I don't know anybody like that, but for just like a single player experience, it's satisfying. Again, I like all of it. It's very comfortable too. I didn't expect when I picked it up at first, I didn't expect it to be as light as it is, but it is heavy. I mean, it's a little bit heavier than a DualSense Edge. Or, yeah, it's a little bit heavier than DualSense Edge, which is already a heavy controller. The thing is that it's balanced so well that you don't feel that. Like, when I'm holding it like this, it feels normal. When I'm holding it like this, it's like, okay, this is kind of heavy. But all the weight is here in the middle. So, holding it feels very balanced, which is great. And then besides that, I think those are all my main first impressions. Yeah, it's comfy to hold. The way that my fingers sit on the back buttons just so naturally is great. I love the layout of everything. Like, just holding it, if you did have to use the trackpads, it feels nicer than on a Steam Deck. Like, you can use it because they're also tilted inwards slightly. They're not tilted inwards on Steam Deck, they're just straight. However, I will say I did try to get Nikkei to work on this. I could not get it to work. So I tried adding Nikkei as a non-Steam game to Steam, and I could not get anything to happen. So yeah, I completely failed to get that to work. And I googled it. I found someone posted a thread trying to get it to work too, and they couldn't get it to work on Nikkei. Maybe someday it'll work, but there's a program called Scissor. It's called like a Scissor, and this program it's spelled SISR. Apparently, what it does is it will make your Steam controller work on like everything on Windows. I haven't tried it myself, but maybe you could use that to get Nikkei to work on PC. That way you could play on your couch. You could play Nikkei on the couch with a Steam controller. That seems like a cool use case, or any kind of mobile game. Basically, any mobile game that has a, PC client. I feel like having access to mouse inputs, like in a convenient form factor, would be nice. Battery life is supposed to be good on this too. I'm not going to charge it at all. I'll just keep using it a little bit until I, kind of see when it starts dying. So, but yeah, thank you guys again for tuning in. May go to bed now too. The sleep schedule thing was a lie. Tired. Have a good night. Take care, lunatic. Hello, Chinese username. Zhao An to you, depending on, well, I'm guessing it's morning over there, wherever you are in Southeast Asia region. But yeah, thank you for tuning in. The stream was dedicated to you. That's exactly the game you're talking about. People use the PS5 controller already to do gyro movement stuff. There's also a guy who plays Counter-Strike on controller because of gyro aiming. I've seen someone play Counter-Strike on Joy-Cons, which sounds funny, but I know that gyro has a lot of potential for sure. A lot of Apex players use controller. Yeah, games that have intense settings and where you can take advantage of your hardware and they have like a good aim assist and stuff. Controller does seem good there too. People use the gyro in some shooters to do movement stuff as well. It'd be nice if it had a trigger lock. Yeah, but besides that, it's got like every feature you could ever want. I feel like this is like so jam-packed. It's crazy. It's crazy how jam-packed it is. This is functionality. The grip sensors are functionality. 4 back buttons. The only other thing I could see maybe would be nice is if they had. I might be like an 8-bit do. It's either an 8-bit do or it's a GameSir controller where there's like a little lock. You can flip the lock and it'll lock the back button so that you can't press them in. So that might be for like an extra peace of mind sort of thing where you don't want to accidentally press them. I guess that's one other thing they could do. They could have that. It could have trigger locks, but maybe it was too much to fit. Like, because look, this charging thing is right here. So like I don't know how much space you need to do the trigger locks, but like if it's a physical thing, you probably gotta have at least a little bit of space. Also, this thing's supposed to be easily repairable as well. Like you can easily change the battery, which is great. Love Steam's Valve's repairability stuff with like iFixit. They partner with iFixit so you can get parts for basically anything on Steam Deck, and I guess for this too, from what I hear. Yeah, I'm gonna keep using this as much as I can, whenever I can. Although my main will still always be DualSense Edge, my favorite controller ever. I love this controller; it's so perfect for me. But I definitely want to get some more hours on this. I'll at least try to play some more RE4 just to see, what I can get a feel for there. But like Stellar Blade, I don't think I'd really use this just because I don't like having the face buttons so close. I should try a Souls game as well, just to see how does the R1 really feel over a full playthrough of something. But yeah, those are my thoughts. That concludes my first impressions. Thank you guys again for tuning in. Battery takes up a lot of space too. Yeah, true, all that stuff. But I'll see you guys in the next one. I'll try to be back this weekend for more Wuchang because I want to beat that game. Oh wait, I'm lying. I got into the Duskbloods network test, so I'll probably be playing Duskbloods this weekend. I think you're not supposed to stream it, but I don't think anybody cares. Like, I believe FromSoft also said, oh yeah, don't stream the Night Rain beta. But people streamed it anyway. Like, I watched plenty of streams of that. So I'll probably try to stream some Duskbloods, or at least play Duskbloods, because it's only Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Anyway. And I'm at least, as soon as I see like a few other people streaming it, I'll be like, okay, I can stream this. Because I mean, why would, the only thing that's kind of weird is that it's not a Nintendo console now. So, you know, I don't know if Nintendo would care. Maybe like FromSoft doesn't care, but Nintendo might care. So I'll wait to see at least like if other people are streaming the game, then I'll stream Duskbloods. That'd be fun. It'd be my first time streaming something on Switch too. All right, I'll see you guys in the next one. Have a good night, everybody, and have a good rest of your week. And maybe if I can, I'll try to stream again during the week. If not, I'll see you this weekend. Peace, everybody. Later.